Hello again. We can always rely upon the Deputy Prime Minister to provide us with some light-hearted amusement. A welcome relief from having to watch the terrible antics of the rest of Keir Starmer's government. When Lammy appears, we prepare ourselves mentally to chuckle at his antics. He's like a much-loved comedian who need only step onto the stage and turn to face the audience for them to start smiling in anticipation. He never disappoints either. Every appearance is a roaring success. His latest rib tickler, though, is something rather special, even for this virtuoso. He gave a talk for International Men's Day to staff at the Ministry of Justice, the government department of which he is the minister in charge. He spoke of his greatest male role model, whom he claimed to be Nelson Mandela. When asked who was the second greatest role model for him, he named Bill Cosby. This was, even for a man with David Lammy's limitless capacity for screwing things up, an extraordinary thing to say. Bill Cosby was for over 50 years dogged by allegations of sexual misconduct and a propensity for assaulting young girls. He spent 3 years in prison for sexual misconduct of this kind before being freed on a technicality. The court awarded damages of $500,000 against him in relation to another such case brought in the civil courts. The earliest allegations of this kind against Bill Cosby date back to 1965. Given the abysmal ignorance which David Lammy habitually displays on so many topics, witness his unparalleled performance on Mastermind a few years ago, it is, I suppose, conceivable that he has not heard about all this. If so, then he must be one of the few people in the Western world not to have done so. It was headline news, not just in the United States, but also in this country. You really would have to have been completely out of touch, not reading any newspapers or watching the television news to have avoided learning about the scandal of Bill Cosby and his antics. My own theory is that David Lammy did know about the time in prison for indecent assault and so on. I think that he knew, but didn't really care, because it was more important to him that the male role models whom he cited had black skins. Colour mattered far more than character or morality. I honestly don't think he cared that Bill Cosby was an abusive personality. It is as nothing when set against the fact that the man is an African American. This really is a bit much, even for a seasoned performer like Lammy, and I hope that it will not damage his well-deserved reputation as a knockabout slapstick performer. I doubt if it will, for he is the only black man in the cabinet, and as such is virtually invulnerable. Witness how easily he weathered the storm of the dangerous immigrants being freed from prison in error, and the way everybody politely overlooked his shouting at the top of his voice when he stood in for Keir Starmer at Prime Minister's Question Time. It will, I think, take more than admitting that Bill Cosby is his role model to harm the Justice Secretary.